Okay, inshallah today we learn to discuss about the scheme of the igcse camp for the question 1 and question 2. So we go first for the question 1. The student is investigating whether the force affect the changing of the magnetic field of the wire. Plan an experiment to investigate whether the force affect the changing of magnetic field or wire. Then we have the magnet, so you just change magnet to the bar magnet. Wire millimeter. Alright, so you should draw a label diagram of how apparatus will be arranged. State a key variable you will control. List any additional apparatus needed. Explain briefly how you will carry out the investigation. Draw a table to display your reading. You are not required to enter any readings in the table and suggest a suitable graph to be drawn from the result. You may draw a diagram if it helps you to explain your plan. Okay, we go one by one. The first one is draw the label diagram. So this is the label diagram. So we have a ruler to measure the height of the bar magnet that will release into the solenoid copper wire. And then we have connecting wire millimeter connected to the connecting wire and solenoid, and of course we have the retorque stand. And additional plasticine is not required, but it's additional if you release the bar magnet, and then the bar magnet will catch by the plasticine. Alright, so the second one is the key variable. Control variable is the number of turns of solenoid. We use the same number of turns of solenoid or same solenoid for all the experiment, or you may use also same solenoid, same size of solenoid, right? Okay, so here is 1 mark, and then for the control variable 1 mark. And then the next one is additional apparatus needed. So ruler, retorque stand, connecting wire, plasticine is additional. It's not compulsory for you to have. So another 1 mark. And then next, explain briefly how you would carry out the investigation. So we have 4 things that I always state to you: how we set up the control variable, how we set up the manipulated variable, and responding variable. Alright, so the first one is set up the apparatus as shown. The 100 turn of solenoid made by copper wire is used. So here we state that how we control the variable of the number of turns of the solenoid, and measure 10 cm height of bar magnet and solenoid, and then release the bar magnet through the solenoid. Measure and record the reading of millimeter. Repeat the experiment for 20 cm, 30 cm, 40 cm, and 50 cm height of bar magnet of solenoid. Alright, so for this point number 4, there is a 3 mark here, okay, whereby you will get 1 mark if you state the measure of height of bar magnet. So measure of height, okay, and compulsory with measure and record the reading of ammeter. So here is 1 mark, and then you get another 1 mark for repeat the experiment. Additional mark will be given if you state at least 5 repetition of the value. Right, so we go the next point that the question need. Draw a table to display your reading. So the table is the height for centimeter, and the current with millimeter. Is compulsory for you to write the unit also with the variable. Okay, so another 1 mark here. And then last but not least, for the conclusion, need for you to do the graph, and then the graph is I and H. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 7 with the diagram of the apparatus of our experiment. Alright, so total up is 5 mark. Okay, so this is for the question number 1. Okay, we go to for the question number 2. A student is making the relationship between mass of water and length of rubber band. So we have rubber band, bottle of water, and then the question is need for you to list down additional apparatus needed. You may draw the diagram to help you carry out the experiment. So the mark for the diagram there is no mark for the diagram, but there is a mark for the list of additional apparatus. So we have meter rule, water, rate of stand, beaker, measuring beaker, cylinder, weighing scale. Okay, it's either one. It's either measuring beaker or weighing scale. Okay, so another one mark here. So for the diagram, it's no mark for the diagram, but it very can help you to gain the mark. Okay, so set up, and then the next one is explain how you will carry out the investigation. So as the question number 1, we have the 4 things to remember. The first is the control variable, the manipulated variable, and responding variable. So for the control variable, you need to state that you use the same rubber band, okay, for all the experiment. Okay, so we'll here fill up the bottle of water with 10 grams of water. So the scheme need you to ask you for you to state that to measure the length of rubber band before and measure the new length after you hang up the loop. Okay, so that is the first mark. So we look at this answer. Hang on rubber band, measure and record new length of rubber band. Okay, measure and record the new length of rubber band. This is the mark 2. But in this point, she lost another 1 point. Measure. Okay, measure. Okay. Measure the length of rubber band. The first before we hang up the water. Okay, and then fill out the bottle of 10 ml and hang out rubber band, measure. Okay, so this you will get 1 mark. And then additional information, if you state how to measure the extension of the rubber band, so this one is the additional mark. Additional 1 mark. And then the repeat for 5 question, another 1 mark. So this additional 1 mark is given if you not complete the 7 mark. Alright, okay, so I just circle it first. Okay, and then the control variable is the thickness of rubber or size or diameter of rubber, it can be. And then the change is the mass of water. And then the type, this question is the not one question, but then 2. Okay, these 2 correct, and then you get 1 mark. And then for the table, mass per gram and extension percent, but if you state HI or length or H also can, right? And then the graph for the X and V lah. Alright, so you can state or load against extension, or you may use you may write down the load against extension graph. Okay, so there is another 1 mark. Okay, so 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, 6 mark. So you will grant any the additional mark, so you get 7 mark. So for this question, there is always have the additional mark for you to write down the experiment. So it's better for you to write down all the requirement for the experiment, so that the additional mark will be, help you to get full mark. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you.